I heard about a PhD that was available with Griffith. They'd received a research grant that was in cooperation with the EPA, so it was one of the first industry grants at the time. I was pretty keen to start forging a new area of research for me and a new interest for myself, and the PhD was an ideal opportunity to do that. It was looking at the impacts of a mosquito control method called runneling as a means of physically changing salt marsh environments to reduce the potential for mosquito breeding. It meant that I could look at a whole bunch of different things in mangroves and salt marshes and answering some pretty neat questions at the end that had a human health associated aspect to it. Griffith had held, for me, some historical interest as an area where people were thinking a bit differently. I had a lot of freedom, and with that I had the responsibility to really go about my research in the way that I wanted to do it, with guidance from my supervisors, which was good, and the work that I was doing could be put into real-world situations. The culture that was on campus was really strong. We would help younger students to start their pathway of research and also understanding what that meant from an environmental perspective. So I think I've carried a lot of that through to my current thinking and just really continued to work on the ethical side of it, which to me is really important, and I think we have to have a social conscience in any of the activities that we do. I have quite a thirst for knowledge and wanted to continue down the pathway that I'd started with my PhD. I presented a paper at an international conference in North America, which gave me a lot of exposure to other people working in the field. As a result of that, I was offered a position at the Queensland Institute of Medical Research in their mosquito control laboratory as a research scientist. It allowed me to apply a lot of the thinking that I'd picked up while I was doing my PhD, and to continue down the research pathway. I moved into a consulting position, starting to apply that impact assessment thinking to large infrastructure projects and starting to really consider the regulatory regime that sits behind this from an environmental perspective. In 2015, we started Epic Environmental, and it's taken all of the good things from the large companies that I've worked in and applied them to a smaller, client-focused, boutique environmental services company. I'm very proud of the work that I've done, and I'm really happy to talk to my children about it, teach them, show them, and speak to other people about it, because it's a broader education of how these systems operate that, for me, has helped to fulfil part of that thirst for knowledge and understanding that I still can't quite quench.